Yenda wase say a baby anunya time ehwe Xposed media. Na na ebo ne de minimum hia. Na yenna yenim ni Nathaniel Cudjo of UCC, a medical student na during your graduation on Quantum Award Baku 16.
Professor H.S. Monukofi Prize for Best Student in Anatomy. Cash prize 500 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Best student in medical biochemistry. Cash prize 500 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. St. Joe's Specialist Clinic Prize for Best Graduating Student in Physiology. Cash prize 500 Ghana cedis. Awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Emeritus Professor E.E. Bracken's Prize for Best Student in Microbiology. Cash prize 500 Ghana cedis. Awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Anthony Eliason Memorial Prize for Best Student in Community Medicine. Cash prize 500 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Best Student in Chemical Pathology. Cash prize 500 Ghana cedis. Awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Dr. Kinney Isaac Ayi Award for Best Student in Ear, Nose and Throat Rotation. Cash prize 500 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Kofi Esuman Prize for Best Graduating Male Student, and the prize is a tabletop refrigerator. The awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Best Graduating Clinical Student. The prize is 1,000 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Best Graduating Preclinical Student. Cash prize 1,000 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. GMA Prize for Best Student in MBCHB Final Part 2. A prize of 500 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Vice Chancellor's Prize for Best Overall Performance. And the prize is a laptop computer with its accessories and 1,000 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Madam Alice Ampema Award for Best Student in Pharmacology. The prize is 1,000 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Joseph Gordon Menses Award for Best Overall Male Medical Student. The prize is 500 cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Best Student in Family Medicine. The cash prize of 500 Ghana cedis, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. Finally, Mrs. Elizabeth Ayite Prize in Molecular Medicine, and the prize is 1,000 Ghana cedis with a certificate, and the awardee is Nathaniel Cudjo. I will invite the Dean School of Medical Sciences to help me. Thank you very much. Please, you may resume your seats. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and then you know waba and during an interview, the same be abetuja is very inspiring in sema ahwefo any andofo amohwe Xposed no. Or say ye check na munsumu hu bi any saying. Or say ebra during his career we school wasi. Ocho no wasi wie ya e wo say okọ Legon. Ono de na fitinim kola bremu nyina no. Na the way our doctors for mo dressy omo form ho omo ho kekane ade na ye ne fe. Into ono no de no waka no say medicine no be ready or you be a medical doctor. It's a no one she ni trimu ebra na disuemu or ye ni science opportunity ni science we chess ni nyina no. The she na adwum ni say o person be nyini no nye obi a ye doctor and as o hwe nipa empom din nsem ehun. Na ene de nsu ni nsem o de tuja no person nche say bra ni wasi o pass here o so ko school onya 7 A's ana B e wo ni English mu. Nti no sa no course e wo se om de ma no e wo university University of Ghana Legon no o ma mfa ama no om command pharmacy instead of medicine no o man pharmacy no we dey one cash na just start here oh yeah now cause in the first year ni mu no he spend 1 year over then in the first year ni mu no o ya there and they know say the performance is very good but it no anonya admission to UCC that means say course now no you on any engine but your person you know ano interman apply for UCC anonya medicine into man jai Legon no and I just saw the call UCC and he said and then or the winning award 16 into a person can answer person can change and say when you are being rejected and I say a year but I see when you soon be bia it doesn't matter say bia ade no we for na aba wa kwemu ko here bibia course of fire dia wo pese esi when you so pese wo saka no endi edewo na wonya wo bi foforo na wo ye no ho na emom no chesi dia wo pe and I say dey si when you so e wo abrabo madofo yenkotie enu nsem embra.
Yeah, it's a dream I've had since childhood. I remember as I was growing up, as you watch movies and you see doctors going about their duties.
Yeah.
It's something that I really liked. I admired a lot the way they move around and do their stuff. So it's something that I was always interested in right from childhood. As you grow up, as I went into SHS, reading science and all that, you develop that interest more and more. So it's something.
Right. You've always been interested in it. I mean, I wanted to be a pilot, but music and lecturing found me. So that's where I'm at. What was it like growing up, you know, as a young man with such a big dream of wanting to be a medical doctor? Did you have like mentors within your family or in your immediate space? Were there any relatives that were in the medical field already that inspired you to also wanted to be a medical doctor?
Okay, so for that one, in our family, We don't have a lot of medical doctors in our family, honestly. Yes, I have one cousin who is now a doctor, but
Right.
he became a doctor when I was already in medical school. So it's not something that, it's not a profession that we really have in our family as medical doctors. But my inspiration to become a medical doctor, as I already said, it's movies and seeing them going about their duties. I just loved the way they carry themselves about, and there's the profession. It's a really noble profession,
Right.
and what they do in the profession is noble. Trying to contribute your quota to save human lives is something that you can't take for granted.
Great. So he's always been, a childhood desire to be in the medical field, right? Well, when I look at your records, 16 awards out of 22, and all the things that they said about you, especially in the medical field, you have to cram a lot of information. You're always studying. Did you have any social life at all?
Yeah, it's a question that I get most of the time, and I think anyone who achieves something like this is also going to be thrown that question.
Yeah.
It's normal because people don't seem to believe that you can actually combine social life with about this performance. But yeah, I had a social life. I had friends that I used to move around with. I'm not more of an outdoor person. I prefer being indoors.
Indoors all
But
the time.
being indoors does not necessarily mean you are always sitting behind your book. I don't think that's actually feasible. You can't be sitting behind your book for 24 hours in a day. It's not possible. You get it. So there are other things that I was doing. I love watching movies a lot. So I watch a lot of movies.
You watch Grey's Anatomy, I'm sure.
Funny enough, I don't watch a lot of the medical related ones. No, I watch more of the other, because you need a break. You can't always be behind your books all the time. You need a break. It helps your mind.
Yeah.
You get to refresh your mind. At least you need to move away a little bit from the medical stuff and do other stuff. I think it's very important for your mental health.
Did you play any sport?
I used to play sports when I was in SHS.
Yeah.
But when I went to university, I wasn't really playing, but I was playing a lot of video games. I play a lot of video games.
Nice. Nice. I'm looking at, the learning environment and how it affects learners. So you school in UCC. It's one of the premier universities in our country. How do you think the learning environment in UCC has helped you? In fact, considering the fact that a lot of people think that the UCC system is more rigorous than any other, university system in the country. Do you think that it also has a contributing factor? What do you think, UCC, added to you?
I don't think I'll disagree with the idea out there. Yeah, I don't think I'll disagree with that. And specifically for our medical school, the system that we used was quite a novel system in medical training. We used what we call a problem-based learning, student-directed learning. For that one, it's more like you put the student at the center of the studies, where the student is given room to direct more or less their own studies at some point in time. With the problem-based learning, we more or less come together as groups. We are given problems, then we tackle them together as groups, where we have a lecturer sitting by directing it, but it's mainly done by we, the students, to try and solve the problem that has been given to us. And also for our system, we tend to write examinations quite a lot. Almost every 2 to 3 weeks, you have to write an exam that you can actually pass and fail. So it's not like an eye, it's an exam you can actually fail. So all these things makes you're always on your toes. You can't relax at any point in time. You always have to be giving off your best throughout, because any slip up, then you are going to have an extra load, which will be difficult to make up.
Great. Now, viewers, you can join our conversation on WhatsApp. You can send your WhatsApp messages to 055 61 034 055 5561 034. You can also watch us on YouTube, GTV Ghana, on Instagram, GTV Ghana, and on Twitter you can tweet at us at GTV Ghana. Right. Doc, one of your your vice chancellor, I think she's a pro vice chancellor, Professor she is posted as saying that hard work never kills. So Professor Bohine believes that hard work never kills, and I'm sure that you did some really hard work while studying in UCC. Can you share with us details of the kinds of work you're doing? I mean, when you wake up in the morning as a student in medicine, what's your routine like?
Okay, so for us, mostly, especially when you're in the preclinical years, lectures mostly start at 7:30. Then you can go as long as to like 5:30. Some days can be that long. And throughout the entire day, you have just a few breaks in between, maximum like an hour, 30 minutes sort of thing. So you spend most of the time in the classroom, like, and I think that's how the system is. There's not much that can be done about it, because the content, you have a lot of things to know before you step out in the period of the 6 years. So everything is put into the time that is available to them. So it's really a tight system. So in the morning you wake up, if you're in the clinical years, you have to combine ward duties with classroom work as well. You have to be going to the ward and also coming back in the class to have lectures. And after that you have to have personal time to actually learn what you taught. One thing is being taught, and another thing is actually absorbing what you've been taught. So you also need to make time to studying for all that as well. And you also need to make time for friends and, you know, social life and for that. So it's a really tight system.
Great. And in the video, we saw a woman who is dancing, very elated. You know, I want you to identify that woman in the video. Who is this woman?
That's my lovely mom, my mother.
Your mom? What's her name?
She's Rose Obindochi.
Rose Obindochi. We want to congratulate you, Mom, because you've done a great job raising this fine doctor here, and he's winning all the awards. Thank you so much for being a good mother and taking care of this asset to our nation. Now, I wanted to find out what you think this means to your family, having achieved. What do you think it means to them, your family, your mom, especially your dad, your siblings, if you have any family members especially?
I think everyone is very happy about this achievement. And I think they are also very proud. And personally for me, it's a good feeling, because I think as a child, as you're growing up, you know, our parents do a lot for us, a lot that they do for us in every way. So to have the opportunity to give back to them in such a special way, I think it's a really humbling opportunity for me. So yeah, it's a good feeling.
Great. I see you've taken special interest in stroke and the management of stroke and training people within that space. What informed your interest in stroke and the management of that issue?
Okay. So I have an interest in neurology first of all. Neurology, that's where my interest is.
What's that? What's neurology?
So neurology, in simple terms, it has to do with brain stuff. Let me just put it that way. It entails a lot, but just in simple terms, has to do with brain stuff. Yes.
It's a long-term thing to be like a brain surgeon.
So being a brain surgeon, so that's neurosurgery. So you have neurosurgery and neurology. So the neurosurgeons are the one who do the surgeries on the brain, but a neurologist doesn't do surgery.
Right. I know the story of Ben Carson.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've read his book, and it's very inspirational.
Gifted.
And I'm sure he is also an inspiration to you as well.
Yeah, very much.
Great.
Very much.
So let's delve into your interest in stroke and why you choose to, you know, set up a facility that can manage stroke patients.
Okay. So I'm very young in the profession, first of all. Stay in the profession. I've realized that for stroke patients, mostly it's the complications of the stroke that becomes a problem for them. Most of the mortality that comes out of it is mostly as a result of the complications. So personally, I thought that if there's a facility, you have a special facility where you can train all the staff there. That's all the staff in that facility are well trained in the management of a stroke patient, so that some of these complications can be reduced and managed properly. I personally believe it will go a long way to reduce the mortality that's associated with stroke. And whether we like it or not, stroke is a condition that the cases are becoming more and more as we go along because of lifestyle changes. We are adopting more of Western lifestyle. As we adopt more of Western lifestyle, we are predisposed to some of these chronic diseases. So there's not something that we can say is going to stop anytime soon. Unfortunately, we'll love for it to say that it's going to stop. But it's something that it's there, and the way things are going, it's not like it's stopping anytime soon. But we need to make sure that we have the right management so that even if the patients come down with it, we are properly trained in order to manage them properly and to avoid the sad incident of them dying as a result of complication and not the stroke itself.
Did you get the question?
Right.
I hear the young doctor was not selected by Legon. He must be regretting today.
My God. So, was that your story? Is that your story?
Yeah.
How did it happen? Can you brief us?
Okay, so I had 7 A's and a B2 after writing was in, I think, 2015. Yeah, so I applied to Legon that year, and I was granted entry into medicine. I was granted entry into Bachelor of Pharmacy.
Right.
Yeah, so I did pharmacy for a year there, then I moved on to UCC to read medicine.
So, because of the B that you had, instead of an A, Legon gave you pharmacy.
Yes.
But UCC gave you medicine. And you did pharmacy for
a year.
A year in Legon, and decided to go to UCC.
Yeah.
Wow. So it means that you can be rejected somewhere, but it's a redirection to someplace else to birth what he has placed in you. So if you have been rejected somewhere before, Dr. Nat sitting here was rejected, by Legon just because he had a B in English.
Yeah.
And it was not just a redirection, it was not just a rejection, but actually a redirection to UCC, where God will do all of these things through him. If you feel like today, Dr. Nat's story must inspire you to know that it's not a rejection, it is actually a redirection. And your last words to a young person who also wants to study medicine, wants to be a medical doctor, who's inspired by your story and wants to do medicine, what would you say to such a young person?
Yeah, so what I would say is that as you are moving on in life, you should have clear goals that you should set right from the start, and you should always have those goals at the back of your mind and make sure that you are going to get them. Sometimes what happens is that as you're on the journey to achieving your goals, you get to a point where you get so comfortable at where you are, then it's easy to forget the exact goal that you have. For instance, as I went to pharmacy, the results were quite good. So that, okay, fine, I'm doing quite well here. Why should I leave here and go to a new place, a new system to try something new? But I had a clear goal. I wanted to read medicine, and that's what I wanted. So despite all the results I had there, which I could have easily said I'm staying to continue, I did not do that, and I aspired to just go and read the medicine. So all that I want to say is that if you have a plan to move from a point A to C, even if you get to B and you are so comfortable, you shouldn't forget that your end goal was to get to the point C. So that should be the focus, and you shouldn't lose track of it. Yeah.
So in effect, don't settle.
No, you shouldn't settle for this.
Go for what you want.
Exactly.
Wow, this is impressive. This is impressive stuff. I want to find out about your social circles, the kinds of people you relate to, the kinds of people around you. You have a best friend. They say you are a shark, so some sharks can and they don't go out, they don't do stuff. Do you have any social circles at all?
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of close friends.
But I say when you're married, I share video now. But when you say my brother, ni Nathaniel Cudjo edi ebetu adofo na make us subscribe, like na share Xposed na fe yususu no anytime bia na be posting so notification bell no se na be ya be hu the post bia de bia no edi a me gisoa ene nana yebo amakra mu nyina bye bye.